Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So Terence Crawford finally benching Adrien Broner. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't heard Adrien Broner come out of Terence Crawford's name. But if it has, direct me to the video or whatever. But just reading an interview, and Terence Crawford is definitely open to the possibility of fighting Adrien Broner. And this is a fight that I'd love to see. I think that Terence Crawford would bring out the best in Adrien Broner, and on fight night, Terence Crawford would get the best possible Adrien Broner that we could ever, hope to see. Back when Adrien Broner was fighting at those smaller weight classes, he was knocking dudes out. He was stopping dudes. He was beating the fuck out of dudes. He was letting his hands go, but, he moved up in weight, and, that same, ferociousness that he fought with was not present. He did not fight the same. Guys were bigger than him or the same size as him with more power, more speed, more abilities than him. And he kind of fizzled out. He took two losses at 140. Well, he took a loss at 147. He took another loss at a catchweight, 144, some shit like that, to Sean Porter. So he's got two losses on his record. And, really he's been fighting decent opponents. Some bums. Ashley Theophane was a bum. But, I mean, he's been fighting okay fighters, okay? Nothing spectacular. And, for him to fight Terence Crawford, that'd be a huge fight for both of these guys. Terence Crawford needs somebody like Adrien Broner on his record because, believe it or not, Adrien Broner's still popping. He's still an exciting boxer. He's exciting outside the ring, and, we always look forward to his fights to see if he's going to, just to see how he looks, when he's in the ring. At least I check for Adrien Broner. I'm a fan of his. I think he's, I think he could give us a little bit more, though, in the ring, to be honest. But he's getting by with what he's got. And if he's going to stay at 147, he's going to start taking chances if he's fighting better competition, man. So maybe a Danny Garcia fight next week would be a good look for him. But anyway, back on track here. Terence Crawford needs Adrien Broner or another big-name fighter to propel him to the next level. A lot of people would probably say that Terence Crawford will smoke Adrien Broner, but I think it'd be a close fight, to be honest with you, man. I don't think he's gonna let somebody like, look, Terence Crawford got a fucking mean streak, man. Outside the ring, don't get it twisted, man. He's quiet, but don't get it fucking twisted. That motherfucker's hood as fuck. He don't care. Remember he went to that body shop and choked the owner out and fucking destroyed all that equipment and stole his whip? Remember that shit? Yeah, that's some shit Adrien Broner would have did, but it was Terence Crawford. Look, Bud got a mean streak, man. He may not be very vocal, but he got a mean streak, man. I wouldn't fuck with that dude. I don't give a fuck. He ain't nobody to fuck around with. So, Adrien Broner, flashy guy, really exciting outside the ring. I wonder how he would approach a fight with Terence Crawford, at least as far as build-up is concerned. I think it would be a great fight. I would pick Terence Crawford to win the fight, but I think it'd be a tough fight for both of these guys. Hopefully this fight gets made. I'm going to read off Terence Crawford's statement. That's a good fight too. Broner, they just fought at 147, so who knows if he can make 140. But if he could, that would be a great fight too. If our managers and promoters come to an agreement where it suits both of us, then so be it. I'm sure that Bob Arum would love to get Terence Crawford in the ring with Adrien Broner. I'm sure he's got a lot of confidence in Terence Crawford beating Adrien Broner. But we'll see if the fight happens. I mean, Terence Crawford's talking like he wants to unify the belts at 140. Obviously, Adrien Broner's been campaigning at 147 or close to it. And I'm not sure if he can make 140. You know how he pulled that shit on Granados? The fight was supposed to be at 140, but it ended up being at 147. So that was kind of fucked up on Adrien Broner's part, if you ask me. But you need to pick a weight class, dude. Either you dedicated to the sport. And, if you follow him on Instagram or Snapchat, you'll see that he's still training. He's still in a gym. He doesn't look like super overweight right now like he normally does in the off season. But also, you gotta think about this. Like, we haven't heard much about Adrien Broner since that Granados fight. We haven't even heard anything about like who his next opponent could be. And when they fight in February, yeah, so we're a couple months removed from his last fight. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Broner, but I'd like to see him get back in the ring with somebody. you know, as soon as possible. But as far as him dropping down to 140, I'm not sure if he'd be willing to do that for Terence Crawford, especially. I mean, I guess I would say Adrien Broner's the. Would y'all say he's the A side in the equation if he fought Terence Crawford? I mean, he's gonna bring in more money. Terence Crawford's been on pay-per-view. I mean, Broner hasn't been on pay-per-view, but I feel like Broner has more negotiating room than Terence Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford's undefeated, don't get me wrong, but really, is he a bigger name than Adrien Broner? I don't think so. But he could be if he just speak up. But that's neither here nor there. I don't see Adrien Broner going down to 140 for Terence Crawford. I would expect him, you know, if they were serious about, you know, this fight, that Terence Crawford would have to move up to 147, man, at least. So Adrien Broner could have some sort of advantage, right? Because he's going to need that shit. Yeah, what do y'all think about the potential of these two guys fighting? I know I made a video about this previously, but since Terence Crawford finally mentioned Broner's name, I think it's interesting to talk about now. Terence Crawford's got a fight with Felix Diaz coming up. I expect him to beat the fuck out that midget. And, yeah, Broner, he ain't doing shit right now. I don't know. He's not in the fucking news. You know, Hank Lundy called him out. Who the fuck is Hank Lundy, man? Hank Lundy gets beat the fuck up, too. So, let me know what y'all think, man. Adrien Broner versus Terence Crawford at 140 later this year. Drop a comment, hit that like button, subscribe. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.